Hey, wrestling fans and YouTubers, this is Old School Ted 1 with this week's Daniel Bryan review and overview, if you will. If you tuned in last night, you saw Daniel Bryan in the audience. You saw him make essentially one statement saying that Atunga couldn't wrestle, Justin Gabriel couldn't really talk on the mic, and that therefore Wade Barrett should win. And I hate to say it, but I was wrong. I made mention on my preview on yesterday, in fact, that the worst thing that could have happen that they could have would be to leave him lying in the middle of the ring, beaten up, with maybe Cole or Miz standing tall. No, I think the worst thing they did was what they ended up doing last night, just ignoring a good chunk of it. They showed it on the little run-ups to it, but Cole never really engaged with his normal vitriol and hatred spewing stuff. Okay. So where are we? Where does this leave us? Well, I'm going to tell you where it leaves us. It leaves us in a point where we have to look at and examine what the possibilities, where they lay. Now, the WWE could just hit the eject button, release Daniel Bryan, keep him down in FCW and on Superstars maybe occasionally, give him like a 30-day contract. The Money in the Bank ladder match is coming up. Not a ladder match. Ladder pay-per-view is coming up in the pay-per-view after this one. What does that mean? That means that could be the opportunity to give Daniel Bryan a permanent contract. Now, at first I was kind of afraid that they would just keep him, shelve him until then, which would be horrible, because they did kind of take his legs out from underneath him, thanks to Michael Cole and Miz, and what generally the way WWE booked him. So instead, we're stuck with a situation where we have he's got to get over sooner rather than later if they want to get value out of him within the next year. I would argue they could do it, but it would be more difficult. So what can they do? Well, you can get a 30-day contract similar to what Van Archer and Kurt Hawkins have right now. They get and then maybe end up having it become a permanent contract. Maybe Bret Hart giving him one for Raw, because that's where Miz is, and Cole is as well. You could have him on Superstars. Maybe they'll do they could do a match where 4 of the eliminated guys are competing in a 4-way match for a 30-day contract. There's a lot of little ways to do it, but the important thing, what I think is truly important right now, is they need to keep the feud alive. It is creating noise. It just may not be the noise the WWE wants right now, which I don't get. The WWE needs to grapple onto these, momentums, and they have a momentum. This has a buzz on the internet. It has fans wanting to watch, tuning in each Monday night. It helped make last Monday night's Raw really interesting. It fit well within it, and it's a good storyline right now with Cole and Miz against Daniel Bryan Danielson. So, how does this all play out with the end of NXT? Well, the worst thing that can happen is if he just stays on NXT. If he starts becoming a nuisance, he interrupts matches, things like that. It may or may not get him over, but he's kind of got to get to Raw or SmackDown now, quickly. We have to see him. We have to be able to be sold that he's a credible threat to wrestlers. And the way to do that is to put him on the air. Now, with the likes of Evan Bourne going over, that was a good sign. John Morrison is currently injured. When he comes back, hopefully he'll go over more. There's a lot of opportunity for young guys to be made right now. Now, I'm not saying shove Daniel Bryan to the moon, have a main event WrestleMania next year, but start propelling him forward. I mean, just get him in the direction, get him under contract, and go from there. The reason I'm kind of worried about getting him under contract is, yes, he's already under WWE contract, but have the storyline get him under contract is it's too easy to lose that connection. Fans are starting to get a connection with him, casual fans, but it's still not sunk in yet. The hooks aren't completely there yet, and that's something to be aware of. He needs a big win at a pay-per-view, and not just a roll-up like he did on Miz. He needs probably a submission, a tap out, probably on Miz, and I think that would be a really good way to start it. I think it would surprise people. I think it would put him over. I think it would be believable that he would make Miz tap, especially after the last match. So I'm not saying things are lost or anything. I'm just saying that at the moment they're at a sort of a real precipice. They've started to build up to that point where he'll be over completely that precipice, but we'll have to see. It's kind of going to be interesting how Monday night plays out. I've seen the SmackDown spoilers, and I won't spoil it for anyone, but no Daniel Bryan. Fair enough. So instead, we're going to have to wait until Monday to really see what's going to happen. Am I thrilled about that? No. I would have rather seen Daniel Bryan do some sort of match. I still think the best thing they could have done would be to have the eliminated wrestlers take on the remaining pros. Have Tarver walk out, say he wasn't going to play, so you'd have 4-on-4, and that wouldn't have been a bad match. It would have still allowed for them to do their little NXT Season 2 build-ups and stuff. But we're going to have to see. We're going to have to wait and see right now. Now, Daniel Bryan is scheduled to be in FCW, I think, on the 16th, down in Florida on the 16th of this month. Cool. Fine. Fantastic. I don't mind if they keep him down there, but they or at least have him visit down there, but they can't keep him down there. They need to really take advantage of the friction that he's generating. Now I'm just going over my same point again, so I'll move on to something else. When he gets in the ring, Daniel Bryan needs to be facing, after he gets done with the Miz feud, needs to go against someone credible, but not necessarily like a Edge or Cena or Sheamus or anything like that. He needs to go against a Drew McIntyre, someone else who's coming up right now. And I know Drew McIntyre is currently not around, but even an R-Truth or somebody who's going on that same upward momentum, who they can continue to build. They can feed each other and really sort of gain a lot of momentum that way. If they put him with someone big, it wouldn't be as believable if they put him against someone who is also climbing up through the ranks right now and is also starting to get that same forward momentum, for lack of a better term. So keep an eye out for that, because as important as the Miz Cole feud is right now, what happens after that one is equally important, because he can't, otherwise they could just put him off in the limbo land. But we'll have to wait and see. Zack Ryder would actually be a really good choice, because Zack is in that sort of position right now. I think that would be great for Zack. I don't think he's got the credibility needed to help really put Daniel Bryan over, but we'll see. But just keep thinking about things. Any comments, thoughts, post them under here. And I'm probably going to be doing an NXT preview in the next couple days. We'll have to wait and see. But until then, Old School Ted 1. Take it easy.